You're listening to the Building Wealth in Your 20s podcast, the show which puts you in the driver's seat of your financial future. Young people taking their money seriously. And now, here's the latest from Building Wealth in Your 20s.
Chuck, you know they got that thing where if you buy a latte every day, you go broke?
Uh-huh.
Is that true?
It depends where you buy it from, but yeah, you can definitely go broke if you don't have a lot of money. Yeah.
What if, don't they say you could save thousands of dollars a year not buying Starbucks?
That's right. So they call this the Latte Effect, like the cafe. So David Bach talked about this in one of his books, I forget which one, but he was giving a speech at some HR meeting, and he said, hey, if you just save $5 a day, or, if you just save a little bit more, it'll really add up over the next 40 years, which really sounds boring to a young person, but it's true.
Is it true?
It is absolutely true.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
How does that work?
I'm glad you asked. So let's look at the numbers. Anyway, he said to the girl, what are you drinking there? And she said, a latte. And he's like, how much did that cost? And she said, $6. He said, well, let's do the math. Let's say you buy a $5 coffee every day. In 25 days, that is, actually, in 7 days, in 1 week, it'd be $35.
Did you notice how we stumbled on the math here?
We did.
Chuck does not have his calculator out, in case you're wondering.
I actually have the numbers out, but I was like, there aren't 7 days in a work week. But let's assume this person gets coffee every day, because you know how coffee people are. But that'd be $35 a week, or $1,825 per year. Now, in a decade, that's $18,250, which sounds pretty bad. But if you were to invest that in a low-fee index fund, just an average one, nothing really dramatic, over the course of 40 years, that would be $832,000. So
$800,000.
Yeah.
Instead of drinking coffee.
Exactly, by saving $5 a day. And if you're younger, if you're like 18 and you start saving, how much do you need to save every day to be a millionaire by the time you retire? Not a lot. It's kind of crazy.
Now, it's not just taking that money and put it in the bank, though. Let's make that clear.
That's right. We're comparing it. We're assuming.
You are not stuffing it in the mattress.
No mattresses. No. We're putting it into a low-fee mutual fund, index fund. And just S&P 500. But, there's lots of funds out there. But, something low-fee, something that has a good track record and is pretty boring, but generally goes in an upward direction over time. So, yeah, if you spend it on something else, then it's gone. But the point isn't that I don't want you to drink coffee. The point is that, we could probably all tighten our belt a little bit and cut here and there, whether it's cable or whatever, without too much pain. But if we just put that away systematically, it really adds up.
So what did you give up, Chuck?
I gave up hope and haven't regretted it ever.
How much did that save you?
That is true. A lot. No, I gave up. So I live pretty frugally, but I spend money on the things I care about. But most of my life I lived in, a one-bedroom apartment and in a safe part of town, but not fancy. And I drive cars that are affordable. So I think my current car was $6,000. I bought it used, but it's fantastic. I have bought 2 new cars, but they were both economy cars, both under $10,000, brand new. And I drove one of them for 11 years. So anyway, there are a lot of little things you can do to cut funds. How about if you just don't eat out as often? Because that's crazy expensive, but fun. But, you got to live a little. You got to find some balance there. But the point is, why don't you find out what is really important to you and focus on that? But the things that don't matter, they really don't matter. I don't regret not having a sports car in the 90s. That would have been nice, but I don't regret it today at all. But, I had a comfortable, safe apartment. I had a computer that was amazing. I had cars that were adequate, and that was good enough for me.
What kind of car did you have?
I had a Nissan Sentra. I had 2 of those. And then I bought a Nissan Frontier. I like Nissans. They're very reliable. But now I drive a Ford, and it's been good too. So,
So wouldn't it be a good cost savings measure, maybe getting a roommate or something, so
Yeah.
you're not paying so much on that rent?
Absolutely, you can do that. You can also look at real estate, like instead of just renting or buying a house, you buy a fourplex. It pays for itself and goes up in value and gives you tax savings and all that kind of good stuff. So there's places that's more of an investment idea rather than a cost saving thing. But we all like different things. Just kind of look where your money's going and see what makes sense to cut. or be frugal on the things that don't matter.
So it's kind of sad that you're talking like this, because I know that you were dating that girl and then she just dumped you because you were a cheapskate.
Yeah. If she
That just happened earlier today, by the way, and that's
did.
why he's kind of a little touched and, sad.
Yeah. If she can't appreciate ramen noodles the way I can, it's probably for the best.
Don't you think that after 5 trips to Costco for the big box of ramen noodles, she might at least want a different flavor other than chicken?
We go to Costco for date night. $1.50 for a hot dog and a drink? That's luxury. I mean, that's good enough. So, really. Anyway.
Yeah, and then Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
One.
Cemetery flowers.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you gave her that little candy heart that you got from the kindergarten kid?
Yeah, you buy it the day after, and then you're like, what? They were late delivering it because it's half off. And then you put like an old FedEx box, like it got there late. It's a good.
And you really thought she was buying this?
Well, I thought so. Oh, well.
Apparently too dumb to date.
Nope.
All right.
Well. Good enough.
Cheapskate.
All right. Good times.
Bye now.
Thanks.
You know what, Chuck?
What?
Everyone should join our online community at facebook.com. You know what the call words are?
It's facebook.com/building wealth in your 20s.
Or we got a fantabulous book. You can buy it on Amazon. What's that one called?
It's called Building Wealth in Your 20s.
The Building Wealth in Your 20s podcast is a product of Baird Media. This podcast is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Nothing should be taken as advice for you specifically. For personalized advice, don't listen to these guys. Go talk to a professional.